So yeah, let's start actually with the problem. There is a ton of algorithms, KPIs, whatever used to field players. We know a lot about them, and there is a ton of knowledge and ongoing research. We do feel that goalkeepers are severely underserved. So just imagine that you will need to scout a goalkeeper for your team based entirely on data. And I guess that's not the task that you actually want to be solving. So the main problem now is that the majority of the metrics that we use for goalkeeper evaluation, they are descriptive. So it's some metrics on save percentage shots and some more complicated metrics on top of that, like the PS XG. So yeah. What we want to do is to move the metrics of measuring goalkeepers from being descriptive to being more prescriptive. So yeah, a couple of words on how it all started. Our colleague Kirill, who wasn't able to do it today, participated in a hackathon done by the DFB and Eintracht Frankfurt a couple of years ago, and he with Felix Schmidt, they developed a model that would advise the goalkeeper to do a step forward or to do a step backwards in certain situations. So yeah, we went from there and actually improved that a bit. So yeah, let's have a little, like, if we're evaluating the goalkeeper shot stopping, let's think about what actually shot stopping is. I'm far from being like a professional goalkeeper or a goalkeeper coach or a goalkeeper scout, but like obviously shot stopping can be decomposed into a few different components. So the goalkeeper positioning, where the goalkeeper positions himself, the reaction quality, the techniques, and more. So yeah, like obviously a lot of these things are something which is really hard to evaluate with data, but we feel that with StatsBomb 360 or with tracking data, it is actually possible to think about goalkeeper positioning. So yeah, let's see what we did. So yeah, what we wanted to introduce is like basically a framework for evaluating the goalkeeper positioning. So we basically want to answer the question, the place where the goalkeeper were standing at shot time, is it a good place or is there actually a better place? So yeah, how do we, like what do we mean under good or bad positioning? It's basically the following. If like a better position of the goalkeeper decreases the probability of the goal being scored. So this is what we think about a goalkeeper positioning. Yeah. So yeah, and then if we want to compare the real goalkeeper position into some other goalkeeper positions, we have actually a ton of questions we need to answer. So first of all, we should be looking only at like realistic positions of the goalkeeper. The goalkeepers can't like teleport to the other side of the field. So what we did is we introduced a simple physical model of the run radius that the goalkeeper can move to. So in certain like positions, we have like events. We know what's the duration between the events, and we know that in 1 second, the goalkeeper can move X meters to any side, more or less. Yeah, goalkeepers don't predict the future, and real goalkeepers in the matches, they don't actually know when the shot is going to happen. They definitely do have some intuition, as we, all people who watch football, do, but still, they don't know for sure. Is the shot happening now, or is the shot happening in a second from now? So yeah, when we thought about this for our model, it actually arose the question of, do we need, like when we think about goalkeeper positioning, do we need to think only about the goalkeeper positioning at shot time or at any given moment as well? And we decided that we will be looking at actually all moments of opponent's attack and evaluate the goalkeeper positioning at that time. So yeah, since we're thinking about not real shots, but simulated shots, we need to think about like where would actually this shot arrive. We put 6 points in the goal and like decided that actually the striker can shoot to any of these like 6 points. And yeah, here, like, it's the beginning of this research, so we're making a huge, huge, huge assumption that, like, the probability of the shot ending in each of the 6 points are equal. So I will elaborate a bit more on that and how we tackle that. But basically, when we're modeling the striker doing the shot, we're modeling a striker who is perfect at executing his shots and can choose like any of the 6 points in the goal, and the shot will end up there. So yeah, the fourth problem, which is usually not a problem for goalkeepers, but defenders are actually on the pitch, and they can affect like what the goalkeeper is doing. So yeah, the main thing what like defenders do in terms of shots, they block them. So in order to evaluate the goalkeeper like position, it might be dependent on where the defenders are standing. So we like developed a model that would basically predict if this shot is going to be blocked or not, depending on where the defenders are standing. So after we have all of these limitations, complications, and stuff, let's go a bit deeper into the models. So yeah, when I keep saying that the good positioning decreases the probability of the goal. What is the probability of the goal in our framework? It's basically the probability of the shot not being blocked and the probability of the shot not being saved. Here we need to remember that our modeled strikers are perfect and their shots always reach the target. So yeah, now we have, for each moment, we have like 6 shots, and we want to know what's, like how to measure the quality of the goalkeeper positioning. So yeah, and here we make our modeled strikers even better. They're not only good at executing shots, they always make the best decision and shoot to the place which is hardest for the goalkeeper to save. So so in our like framework, the quality of the position of the goalkeeper is the maximum the probability of goal out of the 6 simulated shots. So yeah, we did a model on the probability of the save. This was actually something that was in the core of our like research. Yeah, as the features, we used like a ton of distances, proportions of distances and stuff, and mostly the most important part is we modeled 3 different types of shadows on like that describe how the goalkeeper actually protects the goal. So yeah, here we actually used a lot of work done by the guys from Ajax, which like introduced really good numbers on how much time does it take for the goalkeeper to react, how much time does it take for the goalkeeper to dive, and all that. A big thanks for that work. That was really super helpful. So yeah, like first of all, the shadow of the position of the goalkeeper. On this example, it's basically the proportion of one triangle which has like the goalkeeper as its node, and the second triangle which has the striker of its node. So basically, the closer the goalkeeper is to the striker, the less is the probability of the goal. It's kind of obvious. There is something called a dive shadow. It's a radius of the possible dive of the goalkeeper. It's heavily dependent on how far away is the shot, because like the goalkeeper has more or less time to dive, to react, and all that. So for super close shots, the goalkeeper doesn't even have time to react. So the dive shadow would be around 0. The goal shadow, and my favorite illustration of that. So yeah, basically, actually, I love this illustration because it explains everything. So basically, the goal shadow is like the part of the goal in the other projection, which is covered by the goalkeeper dives. So yeah, with all these things, we can like predict the probability of the shot being saved, knowing like the goal position, the striker's position, and all that. So yeah, a super quick like recap of what we're doing. For all of the attacks of the opponents, we simulate as if a shot was being done from this place, not 1 shot, but 6 shots to all different parts of the goal. And like for each of these end locations, we calculate what's the probability of the goal, and then like we compare like 8 simulated goalkeeper positions to the real goalkeeper position, and then we say this goalkeeper in this situation could be in a better place or not. So yeah, let's take a look at the results. So this is like the black line is the goal, and this is what actually our model usually advises for a goalkeeper to do. So our model is inclined to like tell goalkeeper that they need to step back or step back to one of the sides, and in the majority of the cases, this is what it does. So it's like super, super conservative. Let's compare it to what real goalkeepers do in this like situations. Yeah, like we can see that in the majority of the events that we looked at, the goalkeepers actually step back in much more cases. But we can clearly see that real goalkeepers go right and left much more frequently than our model does. And here we just remember the huge assumption that we did. Our model tries to cover the most, like it tries to minimize the maximum of the shots. So it would be much more conservative. And it doesn't have the intuition. It doesn't see that the striker will shoot to the right or the striker will shoot to the left. It has like 0 of that intuition, which the goalkeeper for sure has because of the leg of the striker, because of the position and stuff. For our model, it's all the same. Yeah, we of course wanted to see which goalkeepers in real life are, how do they compare to our model. So we basically took a very, very simple metric on how does on average the model perform better or worse than the goalkeeper. And here I need to tell you my biggest fear when I ran the code for the last time. I was really scared that all of the professional goalkeepers will beat our model. So the good news, at least for me, is actually no one did. No one did, and our model performed much, much better, not much better, but better than goalkeepers. So yeah, this was the top 3 goalkeepers by positioning in the Bundesliga. So here, the numbers mean that our model is 0.8% better than what Neuer does. And yeah, Peter Gulucci and Timo Horn from Köln are the 2nd and 3rd place. So I was happy that the results for Bundesliga were a good verification of that we're close to the truth. La Liga results are actually a bit more surprising. We had David Soria on the 1st place with the numbers very close to Neuer from Getafe. Oblak and Ledesma from Cadiz are on the 2nd and 3rd place. So yeah, obviously it's like the early days of our like research and framework, and there is a few steps that we're planning to do next. So yeah, obviously like the part that we need to work a bit more on is like introducing a prior of will the striker more probably shoots to the right or to the left or to the center. This will drive like the results that we have much closer to what like real goalkeepers do. Yeah, here, like for simplification, we took only 8 points on the radius of the runs of the goalkeeper. Obviously, that can be improved to a more to a better grid. Yeah, and in general, like faraway plans can be actually even more ambitious. We're simulating for every event a shot, but actually, this is not what happens in real life. So what we can do, we can take like the most, like the best developments of the attack in terms of an EPV model, a pass, a dribble, a carry, etc., and see what, like would the goalkeeper be ready if like the striker now dribbles and shoots after that. So like adding an extra layer of complexity. So yeah, now I'll give the stage to Egor for the most exciting part of what we did. Thank you.
Yeah, hi there. I will show you a tool which we developed to help goalkeepers or coaches to find out the situations where a goalkeeper could make a better decision. So let's check how it works. We have a video here and a list of events from a video. We can quickly go to the interesting events, and when we have a goalkeeper position, this means for a next event with a goalkeeper position, we can predict what happens if the next event will be shoot. So we can check if a goalkeeper takes the best position or not. So we have a carry event here, and goalkeeper stands like in the middle of the goal. And what happens next? So we see that next event was a pass event, but if a striker decides to shoot from this position, we simulated a best possible option for shoot, and we see a black point. This is a real goalkeeper position, and green point, this is a predicted by our model best position. So we see that model suggests to move closer to the striker to cover this side of the goal. And here we see a projection of the goal, and it's split into 3 parts. And it has different probabilities of goal, but we should have in mind that this is not an XG, right? Because this is there is no probability of a shot going out of target. So this is real XG would be lower, of course. And we see that the actual position of a goalkeeper it has probability like 20% to score a goal in the left part of the goal. And our position, green one, it decreases their probability to 10%. And for next events, we can check this carry event where player moves here, and we see that our model suggests to move a little bit to the left side again to decrease the worst situation from 59% to 57%. And we see that the probability to concede a goal in the left part of the goals significantly decreases. And what about the real shot in the end? We see that model suggests again to move a bit to the left, because in the real situation, goalkeeper moved like here and conceded a shot in the left part of the goal. But we have a different example that can show us a situation where model can't perform good, and of course it is pretty obviously why. So we have a situation where a striker shoots from this position, and the shot is blocked by the goalkeeper. And we see that our model suggests to go back, like Summer showed at the slide. And this is because if you look at the time frame, we will see that the carry event is like 10 seconds and shot event is 12 seconds. So 2 seconds of difference is a lot. And our circle that we are plotting around our goalkeeper is too low. And real goalkeeper has possibilities to move to the bigger distance. And because our circle around the goalkeeper standing here just it's impossible for him to move here because too big distance for our model. So there are a few ways to fight that problem. For example, use tracking data where we have just higher frame rate, or just to simulate more radiuses, more wider net, and more cells for this.
And yeah, guys, just a quick thing. I would really like to thank the DFL, the German Bundesliga, for letting us to use the tactical feeds and the scouting feeds and all that. Thank you.
Thank you.